Hey guys, so it is Ashley here from theawakenseed.net, and today I want to talk about the throat chakra and how you can start to understand how the throat chakra plays a vital role in understanding vibration and also creative expression in relationship to following your soul guidance. So this is going to be a good one. Let's dive in. So today is all about the throat chakra, and I'll tell you what, the throat chakra is probably one of my favorite chakras to talk about because I have a very non-traditional way to talk about it. And this is what I really want to say is, okay, first, if you don't know the chakras are energy centers along the body. They're formed as wheels or discs, as torus shapes in your body, and they run along the spine, starting at the sacrum and all the way to the crown above your head. So the throat chakra up here is all about, obviously, your throat. And most people talk about your sense of communication. Now, one of the most hidden layers of the throat chakra that is not talked about enough is vibration. And realizing that the power of vibration behind your words is connected through the throat chakra. So the throat chakra talks about communication. It is ruled a lot by our sense of communication. So in terms of looking at the chakra, in the throat chakra, we have our sense of nonverbal communication and our sense of verbal communication. We also have our sense of self-expression, and we also have our sense of how we are creating from soul through our manifestations. So this is one of the fun things to talk about. So when it comes to understanding the throat chakra, we have to realize that it is the center of affirmations. It is the center of our affirmations and our language that we are saying to the world. It is also the center of communicating our needs, desires, and wants. It helps us illustrate how we are effectively communicating our needs, our desires, and wants. As a result, it is the center of affirmation. It is the center of really looking at how our soul communicates through us in terms of those affirmations. One thing that isn't really talked about at all is how the third eye in the throat chakra really connect together hugely in terms of channeling out those affirmations, channeling that intuitive writing, channeling the thoughts and words that are coming out of my mouth. Channeling is connected to our throat chakra. So when we're really tapped into our intuition, our third eye, naturally, because we're tapped into our intuition, our throat chakra is connecting to that intuitive sense of channeling from a place of alignment. And at the same time, we also have the vibrational aspect of our throat chakra, which is all about our sense of communication with our verbal and nonverbal communication of what we're affirming into our world. And as a result, we also have the nonverbal side of communication, which is all about vibration in our body. And so one thing that's most known with the throat chakra is it's all about authenticity and our sense of if we're telling lies to ourselves or we're being truthful to ourselves. So, for example, if vibrationally we're lying to ourselves, then that is imbalancing the soul, that is imbalancing the throat chakra. And the throat chakra will have it will have an effect on our sense of communication. In the same way, when it comes to writing affirmations, and maybe you're writing, like, I am abundant, I am abundant, I am abundant, I'm abundant. And then internally, vibrationally, you're feeling a bunch of lack, doubt, insecurity, fear, that affects your manifestation due to the vibration that is occurring in the throat chakra. So one of the hugest tips I have for understanding the throat chakra and how to get started working with it is asking yourself, what is going on behind the energy behind my words? What is going on behind the energy behind my words? So, for example, maybe you're in the space of, you really want to manifest abundance. But as you're writing those affirmations down, are they coming from a place of lack, or are they coming from a space of feeling abundant in your body? Because when you feel abundant, naturally those affirmations feel effortless. And sometimes it is about kind of fake it till you make it, but at the same time, vibrationally, when we allow ourselves to align, we're empowering that throat chakra to be in alignment with our affirmations. In the same way, are you communicating your needs? Are you communicating your wants? Are you communicating your desires? Or are you kind of just stuffing them down and feeling resentful, or not communicating what you want, or being in this space where you're not really unapologetically saying what you want, or you're not being in a space where you're communicating your needs in your relationship? One of the things that I remember healing in my throat chakra was communicating to my partner effectively, and how I noticed I wasn't doing that, and it would affect how we were parenting. And so one of the things I really worked on was communicating effectively, like, hey, I need help with this. Hey, I would like help with this. And just this simple tweak really helped empower my throat chakra. So looking at, in terms of your language, what are the vibes behind those words? How are you vibrationally emitting? Really looking at what is the energy behind those words is your first tip. The second tip with the throat chakra is I want you to identify, how are you in a space of soul expression? Are you tuned into your soul? Are you reconnecting to soul? One of the hugest things that I love to talk on is how to reconnect to soul, and how to reconnect to your higher self, your higher truth, your highest identity. Because the more you are tapped in, tuned on to higher self, and creating that relationship, cultivating that relationship, you're empowering your throat chakra at the same time. Because what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to change those vibrations behind those words, and you're starting to come from a place of higher truth. And higher truth is higher consciousness. Higher consciousness is accessed by learning to reconnect to our soul expression, our soul connection, our soul communication. So one thing that is not talked about is the throat chakra connects to soul communication. A lot of people say it's just the crown or the third eye, right? No, it's actually all of them. It's all three of them working together. It's those higher chakras interconnected in a surgency, basically. I'm saying it right. And what happens is these are all interconnected. We have the belief from the download. We have the third eye with the vision and the intuition. And then the throat chakra is what creates that communication channel of communicating to your soul, communicating through your soul, communicating and connecting to God, to higher consciousness, to higher self, to higher truth, to higher perceptions of reality. So the throat chakra literally helps us connect to our spirit guides, to our higher self, to God, to whatever you believe in. And as a result, when we have a clearer throat chakra, our communication channel is way more open, receptive, and clear. We have more of a clearer channel to listen to those downloads, to listen to intuition, to listen and tune in to what is being held and revealed to us, essentially. I like to call it, it's like tuning into soul messages. So the more you're tuning into those soul messages, your throat chakra is literally in a state of empowerment, which is helping you literally navigate in your life. And as the more that you honor that sense of soul expression, soul communication and ask yourself, do I have ways to communicate to my soul? Do I reconnect to my higher truth? Do I reconnect to higher self? And if you don't, why are we not? Because this is literally what can shift everything for you. Because when we reconnect to higher truth, it's like a constant remembrance of shifting your perspective back to alignment, to higher self, to higher truth. And that higher perception will help you feel emotionally empowered. And so my second tip for you is to look at, do I reconnect to soul? Do I have practices that help me reconnect to my soul? Do I have practices that help me reconnect to higher self, to higher truth, to God? And asking yourself, really going clear and honest with yourself, how often do you connect to higher self? How often do you connect to your soul? How often, like daily, weekly, monthly, how often are you connecting in? Because that is the start of everything. And it does begin in the throat chakra. We think it's in the higher chakras, but actually the throat chakra plays a vital role in soul communication. Third, the number one thing I want to tell you is looking at authenticity in terms of the throat chakra. Authenticity is a huge component of the throat chakra. We think it's all just about communication, but also it's about you as a person, your self-communication, the communication with who you are as a person, your authentic self. Asking yourself, who would I be if I was unapologetically me? What would I do differently? How would I show up? What kind of relationships would I have? How would I present myself? How would I dress? How would I wear my hair? How would I cut my hair? What would I do differently? I remember really distinctively when I started working on this concept, a huge thing that came up for me was this vision of me having really, really bright red hair, makeup, lipstick, and really wearing silk. And I was like, what? But I remember when I tapped into this vision of myself, at the time, it felt like a million miles away. And I remember thinking to myself, maybe I need to start focusing on that more. Maybe I need to start working more on who is the authentic me. A lot of us have been conditioned. A lot of us have been conditioned to think in certain ways, be in certain ways, suppress ourselves in certain ways, suppress our voice in certain ways, suppress our sense of creative expression, like how we personally learn, how we personally express ourselves, how we personally tap into our intuition. It's very possible that due to conditioning, this part of you might be suppressed. This part of you might need to be exercised out. And as a result from that, that takes practice. It really does. And I think it begins with those questions. It begins with asking yourself, do I embody my authentic self? Am I being real with myself? Am I being unapologetically me? Or am I suppressing that part of me? Because what you'll find is usually a blocked or imbalanced a blocked or imbalanced throat chakra will often not be self-expressed. It will usually be a person who is shy, timid, or someone who doesn't share their voice or their opinion. And it could also be a person who is usually afraid to speak up, a person who doesn't express themselves, or if they do, it's in private and they're hiding it in notebooks. Or it could also be a person who really is kind of just dumbing down their voice. Or, and this is a huge one, because in social media land, we could also be trying to replicate someone else. And as we replicate someone else, we lose our own authentic voice. So Maybe there's too many highlight reels that you're getting brainwashed by. And as a result, you're changing who you are due to all these other things. And so I think it's interesting because, especially as someone who works online, it's so easy to slide into a slippery slope of being inauthentic. And it's really important to hold the line of being authentically you. And it's definitely something I've caught myself doing. Like, I remember days when I would be obsessed with Gabby Bernstein, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, this is not me at all. Like, no. And I totally, I fell for being the Gabby girl fangirl, and it filtered into my blog, and it filtered into areas that it didn't need to. And what I'm saying here is literally getting in touch with who you are and removing that inauthentic programming, either from your parents, society, social media, external everything, and really honing back in on who you are. This is the start of real throat chakra healing. Throat chakra healing goes so much deeper than eating blue foods and making sure that you are meditating and seeing blue light. It's so much more than that. It's about your authentic self and tapping in fully to who you are and tapping into your soul expression and ultimately really getting clear with yourself on your true authentic self. Okay, so if you guys have any questions on the throat chakra, please let me know. You can drop those links down below for you. As you know, the Ultimate Chakra Academy is officially open. If you are interested in learning about more on the chakras and the chakra system at large, I highly recommend that you check out that link down below, all about the Chakra Academy. This round is going to be group coaching. I am so excited to basically geek out with you on the chakras and answer all of your questions in a group setting. This is going to be such a fun time. I'm honestly really excited. And if you are interested in joining, the link down below, and there's different payment plans and different options for you. And basically the Chakra Academy is literally a mindset and energetic deep dive into the chakra system. It is something I personally created over the years. I combined two of my best-selling courses and put those together, and what it happens is you have not just the understanding of the chakras, but you have the emotional healing, the manifesting component. You also have the habits, and you also have the spiritual practices to help you work on your chakras daily, if necessary. As a result, it's an incredible time. So if you are interested, I'll leave that down below for you. And if you guys have any questions at all about working together, please don't be afraid to reach out, and subscribe for our weekly drops every Friday if you enjoy our videos, and I'll see you next time.